Breanna, first of all, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
After last game, you said you wanted to, quote, get your head on the rim and finish.
Yeah.
So how do you think you and the team did in that department tonight?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have no stats for you guys, but I think we did good. I think that, really the mindset and things that we wanted to focus in on were rebounding, getting to the free throw line, and just moving the ball. And I feel, the way that we started stayed pretty consistent throughout the game. Like, the ball was flying all over the place and just finding an open person.
David said you guys had a team meeting this morning. Do you feel like maybe that kind of helped you guys get re-grounded, especially after losing two more players?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think sometimes it's nice to just air things out, put it out in the open. And there wasn't anything immaculate that was said from there, but just giving the space and the opportunity for players to say what's on their mind and know that we trust this group completely, and we have to get back to our confident self. And a win like tonight definitely helps that.
Yeah, I know only 14 minutes from Asia tonight, but Niara drew that assignment, that primary assignment, and held her scoreless or 2 points on the night. First of all, how impressed were you with her effort? And second of all, you getting off of playing the big and back able to roam, how does that help you defensively?
Definitely. I mean, hopefully Asia's okay. It's always, you want to go against the best every single night, so tough to see her go down. But really proud of Niara's minutes on her. It's definitely a tough assignment, and she made her kind of play into congestion and take tough contested shots. And for me, it was nice to be able to be on her, but also roam off of her, and just really see the backside, especially with a playmaker like Chelsea, really just trying to find anybody on the court, make it a little bit more difficult for her.
Stewie, Sandy spoke a lot about how everyone needed to do a little bit more for you guys to finally get back into the win column. How did you sort of see that manifest and play out tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I was talking about with the rebounds and the free throws. It's nothing crazy. We're not trying to add a ton of load to anybody in particular, but effort plays, really kind of imposing our will, getting those rebounds, that possession where we had multiple offensive rebounds between Beck and KB, like those things matter, and getting downhill, getting to the free throw line. I don't think we shot enough free throws in our last game, and that was just a point of emphasis for us.
You and the Aces, you guys have faced off a lot of times. You guys were down some players, they were down some players, Asia went out. How is it with the addition of Nalissa Smith to this team? Going in, was the prep different with her being added, and did that change over the course of the games with Asia going out?
I think them adding Nalissa, they're adding a young post player that has tons of potential, and you have to know where she is, especially underneath the basket. She's a great rebounder and finisher around the basket. But at the same time, we know who's the head of the snake, and really making sure that we knew where the other four were.
Stewie, KB talked a lot about staying together and how important that is during games like this. Just kind of where do you see that materialize itself on the floor?
Yeah, just riding the waves, the highs and the lows, and knowing that things are going to happen over the course of the game. But really making a conscious effort to huddle together, to talk things through. And it's always helpful to be at home. Having that crowd cheering for us the entire night and fighting against some calls was funny, but definitely love playing at home.
Stewie, can you talk about when KB having 6 steals?
I know. Honestly, did he have most of them in the second half? Because that's what it felt like.
Third quarter.
KB was everywhere. It seemed like, at the end of the possession or at the end of the shot clock, she was underneath the basket, getting a deflection, getting a steal, diving on the floor, just really, it's like she knew where the ball was going before it went there. And really happy for her to be able to make that impression on the offense, but also defensive end.
Breanna, what would it mean to have Natasha Cloud basically on the bench as a de facto fourth assistant coach tonight?
Yeah, no, I think, to have Tasha and Izzy, obviously JJ's been doing it just in our ear, giving us, words of affirmation and confidence is really helpful, and just kind of keeping an awareness of what we're doing and what needs to be done better.
Seems like tonight that Leo is finally starting to catch her rhythm.
Yeah.
What impressed you about her?
Yeah, who was I talking about this morning with Leo hasn't shot more than 6 shots Somebody in shoot around, yeah. See? How many she shoot tonight? Hey. I literally thought about that when in the first quarter she shot like 3 shots within 3 minutes. I was like, okay, Leo's going to be aggressive today, but that's what we need. You know, she's more than just a 3-and-D player. She can get into the heart of defenses and find and finish.
Breanna, you guys go down 7 early in the third quarter and then come out with an offensive lineup. Marine comes on the floor too, and you go smaller. Obviously, Asia's out at that point. But how did Marine help flip some of that energy after those KB steals, because she was involved in a lot of that hit ahead?
Yeah, I mean, I think Marine was just being active, and I think that's one of the things we talked about too today. It's like we want Marine to be able to be herself on both ends of the floor, and the way she's obviously, you know, knocking down threes, but getting out in transition and making big plays. You know, we had that possession where I don't even know, we got it back into 2 or 1 or whatever the case was, and the arena kind of erupted, but she moved really well on and off the ball and gives Sab help offensively when she can kind of handle for a little bit and not have, you know, one player in the action all the time.
You more?
Kate's credited you guys for pouring into her and helping kind of draw that confidence out. How do you assess when a teammate needs that kind of boost?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always helpful, you know? And I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, instead of us all internally focusing on ourselves, like how can we focus on someone else? You know, when things are struggling, we're losing games, we're down bodies, people are tired, like let me focus on uplifting one of my other teammates, and that kind of becomes contagious. And nobody's immune to needing some confidence or needing some uplifting. So we do it for KB and know she's going to do it for someone else, and eventually it's going to reach everybody.
Speaking of coaches, Sandy got traded. Okay, you got it. Speaking of coaches, Sandy got traded to, you know, Caitlin's side with that. Do you have any reaction towards that dynamic?
Well, me against Sandy. Like old times.
And what about being selected by Team Fee and getting to play with Paige and your UConn?
Yeah, a lot of Huskies on the squad. Excited to be able to kind of play with Paige and just have a great time in Indy.
What do you make of Sabrina's start to the month generally, not just her scoring, but passing, setting the tone on the defensive end?
Yeah, I mean, I think Sab came in. Obviously, she wasn't really happy with the way she played on the road trip. She was dealing with her neck injury, but came in and it's just efficient in a lot of different categories and helping get us kind of jump-started offensively and making the right plays and the right reads.
I feel like it came from, honestly, my frustration in the first half. I feel like I wasn't really doing my best for the team. And after halftime, I feel like Tosh did a good job of just like coming up to me, telling me to shake it off. Like, it's a brand new half. And I feel like that just really helped me just get into the momentum of just being almost everywhere on the defensive end. And I think that translated onto the offensive end. So just, I think it was just a switch in my head, you know, just realizing that whatever happened in the first half, it's over with, moving on to the next 20 minutes. And that's what I did.
Katie,
So.
how much did you guys down 3 players, including 2 stars? How much did you need this win, and to win it in the fashion that you did, where it was like a up and down?
Definitely, it was a must. It was a must for us, especially after the game that we played versus Seattle. We didn't really finish the game. We didn't play our best, honestly, and I feel like we just needed this win, and we really buckled down and really stayed together when it really counted. And I mean, it showed tonight how dangerous we can be, even when we're down like 3 starters, basically, you know. So just being ready no matter what, because like teams are coming after us.
And the way that Sabrina has started this July, like she's had 3 straight 20-point games, and just the way that she's also facilitating her defense, everything, this has been a really good start.
Yeah, she's a leader for us, honestly. When she's on, I feel like everyone else is on. It's same with Stewie. It's like if one person's on, like everyone has to follow, you know, especially like games like this. So.
Kennedy, you talked pregame about sticking together, and now once again in the postgame. Just where does that kind of show itself in the middle of that 40 minutes?
I feel like it starts with getting stops on the defensive end, honestly. We get all off. That's my coach hyping me up. But basically just coming together, especially when we have those lapses. Just realizing that it's okay, moving on to the next play. If you make a turnover or a missed shot, it's whatever, you just got to move on. I feel like we did a really good job of doing that.
Kennedy, what was the team aura and attitude and atmosphere like after the first time out, just under 100 seconds into the third quarter? Start of the third quarter, you guys give up the first few points. What was said during that timeout, and how did it change the course of the game?
I mean, just to shake it off. I mean, we were doing well. I feel like this game was probably our best third quarter that we started in the season. So, I mean, obviously a team is going to make their runs, but we just did a good job of just like relaxing and be like, it's okay. Like, next play, we got to move on and just to stick together.
Given that this third quarter was different than the last few games, was anything different at halftime? What was that conversation?
The coach wanted us to get out a little bit early on the court. I think that was the biggest thing because usually we come out a little bit under 5. So just going out a little bit earlier and at the 7-minute mark really helped us like get a little bit more of a warm up and just being ready for that third quarter.
Awesome. You had a career high 6 steals tonight, including 4 in that third quarter where the team scored 9 points. They scored every time off of that. Just the crowd got so loud, especially after the one you knocked away and Marine saved and you got the break the other way. Just how do you feel about being such a part of that run to flip the game there?
Yeah, I mean, it meant a lot, especially when your teammates praise what a good job you did on defense. And then the crowd playing into it, like getting loud, I feel like that fed into that as well. And yeah, I feel like just my teammates just praising me really helps, and it just gives me a confidence boost to do it again the next play. And I think we did a really good job of getting 5 stops in a row, I think, and I feel like that changed the game.
Finish with Jackie.
Were you honored with the bear claw post game?
Finally, yes. I think it's the Freddy Krueger.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was my first time, and I was really excited, and yeah, I'm glad I was able to do that today.
And also, we spoke pregame about just how against Seattle a real issue was the off-ball movement, and it just seemed like it was a complete flip of the switch
For
tonight.
sure.
What did you make of just how you guys were able to move off the ball?
I think it started with defense, honestly. Just getting those stops. And then even if they did score, we just did a really good job of pushing the pace. And then everyone moving off of the ball. I feel like when everyone touches it, and that's when we get a good look, So I feel like that was a game changer for us for sure.
We'll finish.
That third quarter really turned around. You come into the game down 7 and some turnovers from KB, but you're in the middle of all those plays. You make that save going out of bounds, and the crowd's getting really loud. You're used to making these flashy plays, but how does that energize you as a player when the arena's just erupting like that?
Yeah, well, that's great. Playing here, I think it's kind of unique. We can feel that the crowd is really with us. Oh, sorry. It's really with us every time, every game, even when we are down by, 10 or 15, or we are losing the game. Like, I feel like we feel the fans, and I think it's something great for us.
There was a discussion about a team meeting that was had this morning, and everyone was just sort of giving each other confidence. I'm curious, how that meeting impacted you, and who was sort of giving you confidence to help you, go out and play the way you did tonight.
I think it just everyone kind of say what we think and how we feel inside the team, on court and off court. So I think it was just good to know a feedback from everyone, and I think it was a good moment to do it too. Yeah, that's it.
Marine, how, if at all, did this feel like a statement game for you on a personal level?
What do you mean?
Basically, extended opportunity, home crowd, you're doing what Marine Johannès is best known for, the acrobatic shots, diving for loose balls. So how did tonight feel like a statement for you, and what statement do you feel like you made?
Well, I think my game wasn't perfect. I did some mistakes, both sides on the court, but I think I'm still trying to play with confidence, and I think even playing 10 minutes the last few games, I was still trying my best on court. I didn't give up. For sure, it's tough moments sometimes, but I feel like I gave everything I had, and I feel just staying ready. after like the meeting also this morning, like I think it was just good to regroup as a team, and yeah, that's it.
Ryan, I'm curious what you made of just how KB was able to really spark you guys and sort of what that meant, to the game this evening.
Well, I think KB is doing a great job, kind of every part on the game. She's doing a lot on the defensive part, but also in offense. Like I think she's really playing with aggressivity on both sides, and KB, but also like Beck I think she had a great game, and she did some important stuff for the team that maybe won't show on the statistic, but I think she had a great run. So I was happy for her.
How do you think you and Sabrina were sort of able to play off each other, especially moving in space tonight?
Well, yeah, I feel like when Sab is having a game like that, like when she's going off, like she can score everything, and I think she's obviously like a big part of the team. So us like around her, like we try to give her more space. We try to give her like some good screen to get her open, like even off ball screen. So yeah, I think like we try to adjust everything also around her and Stewie, because I think we all know that they are the best players on this team, and like missing players like JJ and Tash, and Easy and everyone, like we all know that we have to be better for them too.
Marine, what did it mean speaking of Tash, what did it mean to have her as basically an extra assistant coach out there tonight?
Well, just her energy. Like you know her, like she's always like 1000%, like So I think she's just doing a great job. Like even when she's not playing, like tonight, like we can hear her, and I feel like it's good for the team.
It seemed like you were a part of some like energy plays tonight to help out the team. How do you assess when you're coming in what you need to bring to the game in that moment when you come in?
Well, like I said, I feel like coming from the bench, we all have to stay ready and give our best. We might do some mistakes sometimes, but we can think like everyone else. We just have to stay confident and play with aggressivity. Like I always say that, but that's true.
Being shorthanded these last couple of weeks, a lot of you guys in the second unit have had to step into bigger roles. Just wondering who you've seen maybe grow the most over the last couple of weeks, and how has that shown itself on the court?
Well, I was sad for Izzy because I think she had like some couple of good games, even on the road. Like when we had the road trip, it wasn't easy, but I think she did great. So like seeing her like the last game getting injured was not like funny. It's never funny. So yeah, I was happy for Izzy. I think obviously like everyone coming from the bench, I think we are just ready when Sandy asks us to come on court, and Jalen, like even Q, like we all know this, like she doesn't get many minutes, but every time she comes in, like she's really playing like free, and it's really good to see that.
I guess, building off of Russell's question, how do you think you've grown the most in these past, many games?
Me?
Yeah, you. Yeah, talk about you.
Well, I feel like compared to the other like season, even when I'm not playing a lot, like I'm trying to give my best every time. I'm not saying I didn't give my best before, but like just staying ready, like 1 or 2 minutes, like 3, 4, like I don't know, like I think I have to stay ready and just like give my best on both sides of the court, play with like run the floor. Like the spacing is also important for the team. So yeah, I think I'm like I can. After games, sometimes you get sad or frustrated because you want to do better for the team, and I think I was kind of sad sometimes after the games, but I never gave up. And yeah, that's it. So I think I'm proud of this part.
finish with Brian.
Throughout the game, you guys were able to find a lot of success going downhill against the Aces defense. Just how do you think you guys were able to best counter what Las Vegas was doing throughout the game?
Well, I really think Beck did a great job for the few, I think 4 last minutes on court. She had some great she had great energy, and I think it came from also the defensive part. We were able to run the floor after turnovers, so it was really good for us tonight.